What if a single object could undo what you thought you knew about history? Scattered across deserts, tombs, and ruins are relics that don't fit, tablets too old, symbols that shouldn't be there, objects mentioned in scripture, found where no one expected. In this video, we'll examine 5 biblical artifacts that seem impossible, relics that raise more questions than answers. Were they planted, forgotten, or kept hidden until now? If you're drawn to forbidden archaeology, lost history, and relics the church never endorsed, subscribe and stay with us. Among the Dead Sea Scrolls, one artifact stood out, a copper plate inscribed with strange instructions. While other scrolls carried prayers, laws, and prophecy, this one was different. It described locations, dozens of them, where silver, gold, and sacred vessels had supposedly been hidden. Some believe it was a record of temple treasures buried before the Roman siege. Others think it points to relics mentioned in the Bible, but never found. The scroll's tone is oddly matter-of-fact. It doesn't read like a legend or metaphor. It reads like inventory, a list, but the places it names no longer exist. The landmarks have vanished or never matched any known geography. Some researchers think the map was spiritual, referring to cosmological rather than earthly places. And why carve such a record in metal, copper, instead of fragile parchment or leather? Whoever wrote it expected it to survive. If the treasures were real, and some believe they are, then they may still lie beneath the dust of Judea. Or perhaps they were found long ago and quietly removed. For decades, King David was treated by many as myth. Outside of the Bible, no inscription, no monument, no external evidence confirmed his existence. That absence fueled the theory that David was not a historical king, but a symbolic founder, a literary unifier of tribes. Then came 1993. In Tel Dan, archaeologists unearthed a shattered basalt stone. Among its inscriptions, House of David. It wasn't just any mention. It was a military record, seemingly from a rival king boasting a victory over Judah and the royal family of David. The slab was dated to the 9th century BC. The language was Aramaic, and despite challenges, the authenticity held. This was the first extra-biblical reference to David ever found. For some, it was confirmation. For others, it was discomfort, because David's existence means the biblical record begins to overlap with political memory, with bloodlines, with real power. And wherever there's power, there's something worth hiding. Most people have heard of the Shroud of Turin, the cloth that appears to show the face and body of a crucified man. But few know about its silent twin. The Shroud of Oviedo is smaller, more obscure, and held in a cathedral in Spain. It bears no image, only blood. But the bloodstains match the face area of the Turin cloth. When the two are overlaid, the wounds align. Both cloths carry AB blood type. Both are ancient, and both tell the same story through different traces. The Oviedo cloth is believed to have covered Jesus' face between death and burial. According to tradition, it was preserved separately, hidden during persecutions, and arrived in Spain centuries before the Turin shroud emerged. Carbon testing is inconclusive, but pollen, stitching, and historical records suggest its origin lies squarely in 1st century Jerusalem. Why does no one talk about it? Because 1 relic is powerful. 2 are inconvenient. In the American West, geological teams have occasionally reported things they weren't supposed to find. One such discovery, a human footprint, clear and distinct, embedded in solidified limestone, a rock layer estimated to be over 200 million years old. The footprint shows detail, toes, arch heel, anatomically modern, and impossibly old. Mainstream geology quickly declared it a natural erosion pattern, a case of pareidolia. But photos, molds, and independent analyses suggested otherwise. Creationists saw in it proof of biblical giants. Mystics whispered of time slips, lost civilizations, or divine beings who walked the earth before humanity. The truth? It was removed, archived, dismissed. But the question lingers. What if Genesis was never meant to be read as myth? Of all the banned texts of the early church, none has stirred more fascination than the Book of Enoch. It describes the fall of the Watchers, angels who descended to earth, took human wives, and fathered a race of giants. It speaks of forbidden knowledge passed to humanity, sorcery, metalwork, astronomy, and of judgment, not just of men, but of angels. For the Western Church, it was too much. Enoch was condemned, removed, forgotten, but not in Ethiopia. There, the Book of Enoch was preserved, read, and canonized by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. When the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in the 20th century, fragments of Enoch were found among them, confirming its antiquity. The text describes a layered heaven, a messianic figure of light, and a future reckoning yet to come. Its cosmology is rich. Its warnings still echo. And maybe that's why it was banned. Not because it was wrong, but because it was too close to something true. If these relics intrigue you, if you believe some truths are buried for a reason, like the video, subscribe, and tell us which forbidden artifact should we uncover next.